Welcome back. Let's see what's going on in the world of Mike Eppel on this Monday morning. Mike, how are you?
Oh, it's a world of excitement, I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah? Had a nice weekend?
Yeah, it was great.
What'd you do?
Started back to school shopping.
Oh, no. It's different for you, though. Your kids are older, right?
Fine.
So they've got more
that's right. Kind of just drop them off, wait until they figure out what they need, and then come in and pay the bill.
That's it. That's it. You know what? Tis the season. It's not the most wonderful time of the year, as they like to say in the commercials. It's kind of the saddest, isn't it? I know.
Well, look, it was a super hot weekend. Temperature-wise, the days are getting shorter, which is a bummer. But at the same time, fall's a wonderful time of year. So let's...
There you go.
For a Monday morning, let's look at the positive.
Optimist Mike. Okay, sounds like Optimus Prime, but not as cool as the Transformer. All right.
I am not a Transformer, no.
Let's transform this conversation into what's happening with the world of electric vehicles. And are we going to see more of what we're seeing with General Motors?
Well, General Motors has issued a recall on its Chevy Bolt, which came out, I believe it was 2019. They are now recalling all of these vehicles. There are about 100,000 plus currently in the market. So it's not a huge number, but the batteries, in some cases, well, they caught fire. And General Motors previously had issued a warning, I suppose, for owners of these vehicles to park them outside. Don't necessarily charge them overnight, which is the whole thing you're supposed to do with an electric car when energy prices are the cheapest. LG Electronics makes the batteries for these vehicles, and this you know what? It's the optics of it, I suppose, Melanie, if not the dollar terms as well. $1 billion is how much this recall is going to cost General Motors, and wonder if LG is going to pick up part of the tab. But as we're looking at these targets of by 2030. And 2035, half of all vehicles being electric vehicles. They got to get the bugs out pretty quick here, get the infrastructure in place, and ramp up production big time to hit any of these lofty goals.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on over to cryptocurrency. The latest that you're seeing with Bitcoin is what?
$50,000 US once again. Just a month ago, it was down around 32,000. So the volatility in Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies is kind of the standard trading pattern. At its peak, it was $64,000 US, so we're still well below that. But a little bit more mainstream adoption, I suppose we'll call it, for cryptocurrencies, as PayPal has announced that in the UK, it's opening the door to more crypto payment scenarios. And again, does it bring it into the mainstream as an actual transaction-based platform? Because up until now, that was kind of the criticism of the cryptos, that they were just basically being bought and or sold on speculation and not actual of a tangible use. But again, if it's actually used to buy and sell things, a little bit more stability perhaps. And again, Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin, even Dogecoin on the rise in the early going this morning.
Finally for you, Mike, we're expecting earnings from the big banks all this week.
Yep, starting tomorrow with the Bank of Montreal and Scotiabank, if memory serves. The spotlight will be on the mortgage book. How much debt accumulation have Canadians been taking on to buy homes? And what's the prospects for that? The risk assessment, how much money the banks are holding in reserve related to potential losses elsewhere. It'll be about the COVID assessment, the economic recovery. They're not going to do anything with their dividends or stock buybacks yet because they're not allowed to still by our federal regulator. Other things we'll be watching for this week, Melanie, and along with the banks, earnings from Best Buy, another big name in the retail segment, Salesforce reports this week, and then we've got the U.S. Central Bank's Economic Symposium, which typically takes place in the resort destination of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It's going to be held virtually once again. So central bankers and policymakers won't be flying into Jackson Hole, Wyoming, but instead just getting on a Zoom call, I guess. But it's going to be important because they're going to give signals on interest rate policy. I will tell you that the price for oil this morning is up for the first time in 8 days, had been on a slippery slope for August, down about 14% so far. Right now, back above $64, and stock futures looking pretty good.
Okay, Mike. Looking pretty good, too, in casual, by the way. Meant to say that right off the top.
Casual Monday.
Casual Monday. Isn't it reversed? Should it be the other way? Friday, casual Friday?
It could be, but I'm nothing if not trying to keep people on their toes.